coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 1988 Denver Mint coin. We're going to look for a couple different things on it. We're going to look at some used or circulating ones we just picked out of our change, and we're going to look at some really, really fancy ones like this one right here, which might be worth maybe $20 to $50. It's just a really good condition one, but let's start with these, and these are the ones you can find in your change. You start with the Washington quarter. It says Liberty at the top, Washington facing the left. God We Trust down here, 1988. And then here, behind his ponytail, you see there is a D there. Now, there are a number of these coins that have double punch on the D. And if you magnify them up, and this is easy, you can just do this with your cell phone. Put your cell phone on like a coffee cup or something, and just put the coin underneath and magnify it, and you'll be able to see if you have one. So let's look through a few of them. Now remember, we're not looking for the Philadelphia Mint coins. In 1988 in Philadelphia, they made 562 million. In Denver, they made 597 million. So between the two of them, about almost 1.2 billion of these. And this is another one. The D is pretty much the same. If we get a, this one's closer, but we should really be able to see it. Don't think just because it's a little bit beat up or a little mashed down that that's it. You really have to see. It's almost, if you want to have a reference, it's almost like a doubling, like a double dioptrist, but it only applies to the mint mark. So P, we don't need to look at that one. P, you have about 20 of them here. This one's better, and this one is close. And I've seen one actually online selling this as a double punch. I'm just not sure. If we look at that, and let me move these other ones out of the way so we can get a little bit better. I think I see a little doubling on the inside of the D there, and I think the tail comes up there, but I just am not honestly sure whether this gets chopped up a little bit or it's doubled. So this would be something like what it looks like, but if it was a little bit better than this, it could be worth $10 to $50 in this shape. When I've seen them online, I would say, I'm not really going to buy it because I just don't know enough about it unless it's certified by a coin agency, rating agency. And for a $10 coin, you're not going to get it certified. There's another D. That's not it. No P's wanted. This one's actually... So what we do is we tip it back and forth a little bit. Yeah, so this one has some doubling right behind it, but again, I don't think it's enough to. I don't think this is enough to get you any money, and this coin is in such sad shape that I don't think it's going to help anyway. What's on the back of these coins? Well, we know it says United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, has the eagle holding the arrows. There's an olive branch down below, and it says $quarter. Now, these coins were engraved by John Flanagan, and you can find John Flanagan's initials right down here. If your coin has any, it's not totally worn out, it would be right down here on the truncation of the neck. We'll find you one and show you the. There's another D. Okay. So we found two that look a little bit like it. They don't think it's doubling. So there's a possibility. There's one possibility. And here is the other. And when I look back through them, I say both. There's still both possibilities, but I don't think there's a huge value to these. So I'm going to just go right past it and go to a really well-conditioned D. And I said that this one could be worth a lot of money, and it could. There are not very many high-graded 1988 coins. In fact, none over MS 67 plus, I don't think. But if you get up to 67, you could be talking, depending on whether it's a D or a P, If you get PCGS has some listed as being sold for the D's, being sold for about $1,500. Unfortunately, if you go back, that's for 67 plus. If you go back to a 67, they're in about the $400 range. So these are coins that you'd have to have gotten them very early, or you'd have to have gotten them in some kind of mint set edition, like a uncirculated mint set. But look at this. This is just as fine a reverse as you can see. Look at all the feathers. Let's go back into the, you can actually see how the eye hole here, and there's a little, sometimes on these you can actually see how the beak comes about. Yeah, so see the eye down inside there, and then see how the beak, and there's a little ear hole right above the beak, and see how that sharpened edge comes down and the tail comes off the back of the head. This is as good a quarter as maybe we'll ever see, in terms of just being, and this one came from a uncirculated mint set. They also made the San Francisco mint quarters, and we haven't really talked much about these because they just don't have a huge value. If you get the Proof 65, this is probably above a Proof 65, but if you get the Proof 65, you're only talking about $3 to $5 for one of these. So they made 3.26 million of the San Francisco mint sets. They did not make silver that year, so you won't find any silver ones. And when we turn this one over, we see this one has some pretty incredible detailing. Have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel.